Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here.
Alec here.
And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Code of the Duelist.
Specifically, our top 5 most anticipated archetypes.
I think this set's cool because it kind of starts a new era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Lots of new archetypes and some support for some old ones.
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, we're really excited. We're ready to open this up. And these are the things that you should look for in the set too.
Number 5, Goki.
Yes. Goki's cool. They're about wrestling.
Yeah, they're these interesting, they're wrestlers, but I think they're also animals.
Yeah, they remind me of Battling Boxers, actually. Except, you know, that's boxing, this is wrestling.
Yeah, and their aesthetic is that they work with the battle phase. They're all about getting big attack points and swinging over stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's a sort of beginner entry sort of Link archetype, right?
For sure.
They're all like Earth Warriors, so you know, you get your Rhoda, those kinds of cards.
Unlike our usual beginner archetypes, these aren't made to be run over completely.
They can summon 2 of themselves to the field pretty easily. The Link monster, Great Ogre, I believe is his name.
Great Ogre.
He decreases all monsters in the field's attack by their defense, but all the Goki monsters have 0 defense, so they won't lose anything, but your opponent's monsters are, of course, losing stats. And then also he has he points down in all 3 down directions.
So you get the max utility out of him.
Yeah, because when he would die, you can send a monster he points to the graveyard instead.
And all Gokis have the effect is when they get sent to the graveyard, they search a Goki from deck to hand.
So yeah, it floats. It's not just, you know, a trash archetype. And then we've got Goki Rematch, that's a spell, and it gets 2 of them back, so you just grab them and kind of make links. I think it's gonna be pretty neat. They're all very low rarity cards.
For sure, easy to pick up.
Yeah, rares, supers, so a good starter one. Number 4.
Trickstars.
Yes. A deck I don't personally like exactly, because burn decks can be annoying.
They're based off what, Japanese idols?
Yeah, we know all about that culture.
Okay.
Yeah, so Trickstars are a burn archetype. They burn you in a kind of unique way. It's basically whenever your opponent does certain things, like if your opponent activates a spell or a trap, they take 200. Or if your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, they take 200. Or if they take damage from a Trickstar effect, they take 200. And
you see how this can get.
The burn can add up really fast. They've got a Stratos.
Candina.
Yeah, they've got a really powerful field spell actually, Trickstar Light Stage.
Like Magical Meltdown.
Yeah, you get one of your Trickstars, and obviously you're going to get Candina, and then she's going to search a Trickstar card. But also, it's got one of the most unique spell trap removal effects I've ever seen, actually. Basically, you get to select any of your opponent's set spell or traps, and then it can't be activated for the rest of the turn. And then in the end phase, it gets activated, but if it's not the correct activation timing, then it just goes. So.
Well, if you play it properly, then it'll always just go.
And it stacks more burn damage on top of your Trickstar effects. But the one card that's really broken in this archetype.
Reincarnation. So you banish your opponent's hand, and they have to draw a new hand. And of course, this will trigger your Trickstar's burn effects. Because
they added a card or cards from their deck to their hand, and they take 200 for each, and so it's going to trigger a chain of burning. It's pretty crazy, but it's going to be a secret rare, and that kind of brings me to my next point. A lot of these cards are high rarity.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully that means that not a lot of people will be playing this deck. It'll be kind of expensive and tough to get.
And will people even try? Is this going to be a competitive deck where it's worth just throwing on that money? Or will they, even though they're high rarity, will they just be cheap? Because
yeah, people aren't playing them.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, Trickstars make number 4. Number 3 then.
Number 3, Twilight Sworn.
So you were really excited about this when you first heard about it, yeah?
Yeah, well, moderately. I used to play a lot of Light Sworn way back in the day. I'm not proud of it, but I did love them. So Twilight Sworn, they're a sub-archetype. They're like dark counterparts to the Light Sworn monsters. Instead of just relying on milling and specialing a JD, these guys, they banish from the grave and they summon a Punishment Dragon.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat concept. They have Twilight Lila, which can banish a spell or trap in the field when another spell and trap effect activates.
It has to be face up though, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then also, there's like
Reiko.
Twilight Reiko. Gets its effect when it's normal summoned or flip summoned. It's pretty cool. You can like banish a Twilight or a Light Sworn from your grave and then banish any card in the field. Twilight Lumina, she just does Lumina's effect except for banished.
Which is great in a deck like this, but even for old Light Sworn, it's a great effect because they tend to get banished anyway.
What else is there? Punishment.
Punishment Dragons. It shuffles all cards in the
Grave
and banished into
Yeah.
back into the deck, except for Light Sworn monsters.
And it's a quick effect, so it's neat. I think that, and then like I kind of like the aesthetic here. All of them are basically Light Sworn monsters wearing like
Yeah, okay.
black robes.
Yeah, black robes. And shout out to Lila's hat.
I don't know why he likes Lila's hat so
I
much.
really like Lila's hat.
I like March of the Night Brigade. I think
I like the name.
The name's cool. The rest of the cards, but March of the Night Brigade is awesome. They should have also had like a Midnight Recharge or something.
That might
but
be coming.
Maybe it will.
So what's like your overall thoughts on
Kind of, it's neat. I think it adds something to the whole Light Sworn mechanic. You can like use it with.
Eclipse Wyvern?
I think Eclipse Wyvern comes to mind.
I guess kind of the things we used
Fairy
to.
Tale Luna, you know,
and Snow.
or Fairy Tale Snow. Yeah, not Luna. Luna's unrelated.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's funny. This is like one of those archetypes that it's playable straight from the pack. It already has the support it needs.
Now the next archetype, number 2.
Yeah, one I'm very excited for, Vendreads.
You could have seen him the day that this thing was announced. Actually, kind of lost his damn mind. What do we need to know about Vendreads?
They are a ritual-based zombie archetype.
But I thought rituals sucked.
Rituals did suck until Necros, and now they suck less because of Vendread.
Yeah, Vendreads are cool.
So I guess when you start talking about Vendread, the first thing you have to mention is their ritual monster, Revendread Slayer. He's a level 6 zombie, and his effect is actually not very
It's not great.
special.
He can like gain 300 attack when he attacks. It's
he's-
permanent, but that's all he does.
Yeah, he doesn't do a whole lot. But if you ritual summon him using the other Vendread monsters, either
It's Hound Horde and Revenants.
Revenants.
Yeah, they give him extra effects.
Yes.
Hound Horde is he gets the effect of
Spell
being
and
able to
traps.
banish a spell or trap your
And
opponent
then
controls once per
quick
turn.
effect.
Yes.
And then if it's Revenants,
Yeah.
you can banish a monster. Also a quick effect.
Yeah. So imagine having both of these. That's like super Dryden levels of disruption, and you know, it's actually kind of
pretty
scary. In addition to that, their ritual spell card is actually searchable through both preparation and pre-preparation of rites. It's been
That is
confirmed.
true.
It does mention Revendread Slayer in its name, so that's really cool. And it protects your Revendread Slayer from
You
being
can
destroyed.
banish it from grave, and it protects your monster.
Yeah, and then when Revendread Slayer dies, he actually searches on a copy of your ritual spell, and then sends a
right.
Vendread from your deck to the grave.
Which could be a copy of him, which I guess you wouldn't need to because he'll be in a grave.
Yeah, that's
already.
true. So you can send any of them, really.
Yeah, you can
send
anything
like,
you
because
want.
Hound Horde can be re-special summoned.
That's right.
Things like
Can be
that.
special from the grave.
And I think that that's kind of how they did such a good job of making the ritual mechanic playable here, because the ritual spell can summon a Vendread from the graveyard or from your hand, and it can also banish zombies from your grave as materials, so you don't lose so much hand advantage.
You are playing out that grave like a zombie deck should, which is great because we have loads of zombie support we can just throw right in here.
Yeah, it already mixes really well with Mizuki,
Unizombie,
Goblin Zombie,
Solitaire.
yeah, Zombie Master, all that stuff. So honestly, a regular zombie deck could almost tech these in.
Yeah.
Like literally when we finish this video, we're probably gonna like hop on YGOPro and just start like grinding out builds.
That'll be fun.
It's actually really neat. And then they're gonna get more support later on, so.
Yeah. Finally, we're making zombies dead again.
Yeah. And the last archetype is World Chalice.
What was their
I hate
old name?
that name. Stargrails.
Stargrail.
Stargrails. I don't know why they're.
It is such a kind of a pointless change. Star Grail, World Chalice.
It makes me think of the Grail from Fate.
The Holy Grail.
Thumbs up if you watch that.
Or
Anyway,
Jay-Z's Holy Grail.
so
But that
World
might-
Chalice is a weird archetype. At least I thought so at first. It's starting to make more sense to me. Basically, you just have a bunch of normal monsters that just kind of are like, oh, these are normal monsters. Why would I care about these?
Good
But
old
then
vanilla.
they've got Link monsters that just kind of do what you expect Link monsters to do. If it points to something, it might gain an effect, or it might protect the thing it points to. And they've got like, you know, low link monsters that lead to their higher link monsters. And so that's basically how the deck works. I think that it's one of those things where it's almost the opposite of Goki. Whereas Goki is meant to be like a simple link deck that anybody can get into, this archetype is kind of like the advanced link deck that's going to be getting really strong, could be a top tier contender. There's a lot that people have done with this deck so far. And
they're only going to do more once we get more sets.
I'm going to be playing it. It's the deck that I really want to build out of Code of the Duelist the most. So, yeah, those are our 5 exciting archetypes from Code of the Duelist. But
we do have one honorable mention.
Yeah.
And it's not here because it's bad. It's no worse than the other one. Is that it just needs more help before we can truly say we're excited for it. 5.
Yeah. What we think are formula athletes, I suppose.
Possibly, unless they're fast athletes. Which,
yeah, that could work.
Or maybe they're
this archetype is
formula accelerators.
Maybe. It's a neat archetype. The premise is cool. It's, you know, high-speed racer, extreme, you know, racing type of archetype.
Formula 1, baby.
Art looks nice. Monsters have a cool effect. The field spell's cool, and that quick play spell they have is it's all cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
outside of all this cool, the concept is the monsters want to raise their levels and get their effects.
Yeah, and like one becomes a Dark Law.
Yes,
one can attack twice. They can't be destroyed by things that have a lower level.
Oh, my bad. They also gain attack when they gain levels too, so they're getting bigger all around.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely it's all there. I just think that we put it on honorable mentions because it's like I want to wait and see what happens in Circuit Break. You know, will it become playable then?
Yeah, because as it stands, it's 2 monsters, a spell, and a field spell. Or is it 2 monsters, a trap, and a field spell?
It's 2 monsters, a field spell, and a quick play spell.
Okay, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole...
It's like the racing archetype started out in last place.
It reminds me...
You know you laughed.
It reminds me how UA initially started.
Yeah, very underwhelming.
Yeah, it had 3 cards. Wait, we could only have 2.
They can only
no, it
have
had 3. It had 3 at the field spell too.
Yeah.
It had 3 cards, and you really just kind of had to make it work.
Yeah, so we definitely want to see what happens with FA, but for now, they just weren't quite good enough to make the list.
Yeah.
So, that concludes the video. Those are the 5 archetypes that we're looking forward to. There's also plenty of support for a lot of older archetypes in this set.
Oh, yeah.
Some really cool new generic cards. We're actually going to make another video really soon. That is just the top 5 cards you should pick up from this set in general. So be sure to check that out too. Yeah. What are you guys most excited about from Code of the Duelist?
Avenger.
I'm definitely looking at World Chalice. So that's...
Oh yeah, and I'm trying to make a new bit of Ancient Gears, so throw some ideas in the comments.
There's like nothing to do with this set at all, but okay. Yeah, so it's gonna be it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video on Code of the Duelist and the giveaway that we're gonna be doing too.
What could we be giving away?
I have no idea what we'd be giving away that's related to a Code of the Duelist discussion. Guess you won't know unless you subscribe. Alright. Yeah, but that's the video, guys. We'll see you in the next one. That was like, thank you, man. That was a good video. We did really good on that. We nailed that.
Yeah.
We nailed that. That was great. That was one of the